Good evening. Thanks for joining us. Nearly 100 students across Green Bay's 4 public high schools walked out of class this afternoon. They're saying they're speaking out about fears surrounding immigration enforcement.
And the community continuing to grapple with the recent deaths of Renee Good and Alex Preble in Minneapolis. Preble, of course, graduated from Green Bay's Preble High School. Samantha Cavalli live at Green Bay City Hall. That's where the students gathered this afternoon. Samantha?
Yeah, that's right. Right now, in and around the city, this area was actually super packed at around 1 o'clock this afternoon, filled with students. But that's because the word of that walkout actually spreading like wildfire throughout social media and also in the classroom. And as students, they continue to walk out of that classroom today, heading straight to City Hall to have their voices heard. It started like any other school day, but by Wednesday afternoon, students at Green Bay's 4 public high schools, Southwest, Preble, East, and West, stepped outside, joining a walkout they say is about solidarity and fear.
We're constantly wondering what's going to happen now. Are we going to get taken? Is something going to happen to us? Is something going to be taken away from us? Our jobs, our home?
Kamira Robinson is one of several students who say they wanted to speak up after watching what's been unfolding in Minneapolis, telling us what they're seeing on social media have heightened anxiety for their families here at home.
And as a family of color, we're in fear like, okay, well, they're taking anybody. They could take one of us. They could take my brothers, my mom, my grandmother.
The Department of Homeland Security says ICE is only targeting dangerous criminals who are in the country illegally. But the images and reports coming out of Minneapolis still have people worried.
Ever since like the all ICE thing, and since they've gone after like teens and stuff, my sister who's like 15, she's been worried herself about ICE. Even if they come to Green Bay, she doesn't want to come to school.
In a district administration email obtained by Action 2 News, staff were aware of the walkout, reminding teachers to take attendance, supervise for safety, and avoid endorsing any viewpoint. Robinson hopes this moment shows leaders and adults that they're paying attention.
Younger voices bring more attention, and older voices are being more scared. So I think if we all come as a community, as a generation, we can make unstoppable changes.
And that district email also went on to say that if students ended up walking out this afternoon, that was going to be an unexcused absence unless their parents previously called in and had them excused for that absence. More on that coming up tonight at 6. Reporting live in Green Bay, Samantha Cavalli, Action 2 News.